Welcome to a basic introduction to the findings from the AsiaNBC project. We'll be looking at some of the main differences in the innovation approach of Western and Asian companies. We call them the Big Four. A Western company that enters a new market will typically try to attract customers to its existing products. Now let's look at an Asian company. An Asian company is likely to start by listening closely to its customers and trying to identify new opportunities. If the customer's needs are very different, the Asian company will try to modify its product, make adjustments and offer features at a budget that matches the customer's needs exactly. Not too much, not too little. The key word here is suitable. This may sound obvious, but for an established Western company, it can be very hard to be responsive, because it may mean that you have to let go of your usual way of doing things, even letting go of some of the core values that created the trust and the success of the company in its home market. In particular, it can be very hard for a company that's used to every year adding new features and moving upwards in price, but now instead it has to create simpler products at a lower price. When you enter a new market, it's often necessary to find a local partner. In a cooperation, you need to be flexible and to find a solution that works for both parties. Asian companies will typically be ready to make even quite large changes in the way they operate in order to make the alliances successful. Western companies, on the other hand, are often stuck in an old-fashioned, almost colonial mindset where they expect others to change, but they consider themselves beyond having to adjust to others. The key word here is letting go, and that's what the Asian companies do. Generally, mature Western companies aim for predictability and stability. Their systems are not geared for fast and ongoing changes. In Asia, the culture is much more tolerant to change. Business plans are not meant to be strategies for forever. Contracts can be adjusted if circumstances change, and production is much more flexible because it's based on manual labor. All in all, it's a much more fluid business environment that supports a very dynamic economy. So here, the key word is fluidity. Finally, we have to consider that Western and Asian companies come from very different positions. Western companies are still usually the technology leaders, and their strategy is to keep developing radically new solutions in order to justify that their products are more expensive. So they spend a lot on research, development, and analysis. Their Asian competitors are catching up. They look at what the Western companies are offering, and they try to come up with solutions that are cheaper and better suited for the market. Catching up by modifying or imitating your competitors' offerings is cheaper and is a lot faster than innovating yourself from scratch. When you're following others, you know where you need to go. That is, until you catch up and you yourself have to start taking the lead. But for now, most Asian companies are in a catch-up phase. And as companies in Korea, Singapore, and Japan have discovered, that is a passing phase. You can learn a lot more about the differences between Western and Asian innovation by going to our website, asianbc.dk.